Life with me, Gina Marie, strive to be happy. Today, I'm making pork neck bones. You can ask your butcher how you can get those. The ingredients are going to be some chopped garlic, kind of finely chopped if you can. 1 onion, I have a big old sweet onion here, and I'm going to chop it as small as I can, by hand that is. And there they are. That's your base. It's going to go on the olive oil in the pan, along with a couple of stems of these celery. They were short, so I have about 4, but you can use 2 if they're large. Aren't they lovely? From there, we're going to put those aside, and we're going to start by putting them in the pot. Oops, I forgot the peppers. You can add sweet peppers if you want, also chop them up finely. You're going to need some tomato later in the can, about 6-7 cans. Okay, I threw everything in here but the garlic. Okay, and I'm going to put some seasoning hot. Red pepper seeds, salt and pepper, of course. And you want to keep stirring it so it doesn't stick, and you want it to be kind of translucent. I put my garlic in now because garlic cooks first, so you want to let it catch up with the other ingredients. Olive oil, red sweet peppers, chopped celery, chopped onion, chopped garlic, and hot red pepper flakes. Simmering away, simmering about, I would say, maybe 15 minutes. You can add more red pepper if you want, and as you can see, I have my tomatoes all undone and ready to go in the pot. Keep stirring. Like I said, it takes about 15 minutes. Take your time. I'm going to add my 6 cans or 7, I don't know how many I put this time, in with all my sauteed vegetables. Doesn't matter what kind. I have crushed or whole. The 28-ounce cans are nice. And then I'm going to add, when I'm through here, I'm going to add some water. Probably, well, you don't want it too thin, but this is too thick, and you want to cook it, and you need enough to cover your meat. So you want to stretch it out and put about 3 to 4 cans of warm water. I use the cans that I got the tomatoes out of. I just rinse some warm water in them and throw it in there, and I watch and see. And it looks about this consistency, as you can see when I'm stirring it, when you have the water. We're going to add some tomato paste for richness later, but we want to just get that done. I'm going to add here 2 to 4 tablespoons of sugar, or a natural substitute called monk fruit. Some hot red pepper flakes, because we like that. I'm adding more salt and pepper to taste. And here I'll add that tomato paste too. Probably about 3/4 of one of those tubes that I use. I'll show you in a minute. That's my monk fruit. That just cuts down the acidity in the tomato, the sweetness, and then the heat, and it gives it a little really good flavor. There you go. There's a little more salt, I think, and a little more pepper. And I do this while I'm trying to get it to a boil here, all the tomatoes. I'm going to add about 3/4 of this tube. I had already used some of it earlier with something else, so it was open, and I have like about 3/4. This will give it a nice, rich, and wonderful smoothness and flavor. The tomato paste. It deepens the flavor of your tomatoes. I love it. So we're going to stir all that up really good. Keep it on a medium to low heat. You want to get it to a simmer. You don't really want to boil it like crazy because it'll stick on the bottom. So you want to get it up high, and then you want to lower it down so that it simmers and it starts to cook all those flavors in together. There you go. I have put foil on a cookie sheet, and I have my neck bones, my pork neck bones, all rinsed and dried, and I'm going to lay them on a cookie sheet. Now these are small, so I'm only going to do it one side. I'm not going to do both sides. Salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Give it a little flavor. That's what I'm going to do here. These are actually kind of weird. They're all different sizes. I like to try to find neck bones that are the same size. It's hard to do these days, but ask your butcher. These happen to be at, I don't know, my husband said somewhere he got them, and they're good. They give excellent flavor to the tomato sauce. It's the best tomato sauce I make is with my pork neck bones. However, the bones do fall apart and the meat comes off. That's how you know your sauce is done. So be careful, and people eating your sauce, let them know to be aware of the little bones. I usually go through my sauce. And anyway, we're gonna finish seasoning these up. You can do both sides if you want. When they're bigger, I do both sides. And we're gonna have the broiler braising hot. And then we're gonna put them in there and just let them get brown a bit. Not cook them, just a little bit brown. Like I said, these are smaller, so I'm not going to flip them over. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for my little neck bones, I am stirring my sauce, and I am going to get out of the freezer some beautiful fresh basil that I dried and washed and put away last season, and I'm going to add it to this beautiful sauce that's starting to come together. So I got it on a simmer. Oh, let me put these in the oven first. So we got those in the oven. There's my basil. Got it out of the freezer. Had it in there since last summer, 8/27/20. I already pretty much took a lot of the big stems out, cleaned it, washed it, dried it, and put it in a big sealed plastic bag. I do this every year, and they come out smelling just like they came out of the garden. I'm going to chop them up. They're actually real easy to chop when they're frozen. And I'm just going to chop them any old rough way. We don't mind big chunks of basil. My father used to always say, you never have enough sweet basil in your tomato sauce. So I always listen to my father and put the basil into the tomato sauce in abundances. I love it. We love it. So there's your basil. And it's beautiful, and it smells so fragrant in the kitchen. I threw it all in, and I mixed it all up. And that brings the sauce to a new dimension. Yes, it does. You can smell the difference in your sauce the minute the basil hits the pot. It is excellent. Thanks, Daddy, for the big tip. I get tips from my mother, grandmother, and my dad. There's our broiler going. Make sure it's very, very hot. You don't have to flip them if they're small. I just do one side real quick, get them brown. Nice golden color to them, see? They might look a little raw in spots. That's okay. Sometimes I've actually thrown my neck bones in the sauce without braising. I like the flavor of the sauce much better when you braise them with spices and salt and pepper. They're beautiful. And those will go right into the pot. When that sauce starts boiling a little bit more, get it up to a little boil, because you're going to add each one of these little beauties into your pot. Before that, I always take a little ladle and I take the acid off the top. I'm going to show that in the next frame, I hope. I'm doing a voiceover here, so forgive me. I just stirred it there. Now I'm going to add the meat first, I guess. Yes, there we go. We're going to add the meat one at a time. Don't splash yourself. These are so good. They look, people that don't know neck bones say, ew, they're disgusting. And the Sicilians did it. It was a cheap way to flavor your meat with pork. And my grandmother would get them from the butcher and feed 7 people with them, put them in the sauce, and they make it so good. And the pork off the little neck bones are so fun. If you grow up with these, me and my sister just love picking the meat off the bones. I even have Michael, my husband, addicted to them now. Some Italians will also add pig's feet. Pig's feet. I'm sorry, my neighbor is putting his garbage out. That noise over there. Sorry about that. But anyway, I am adding all that meat in there. And the pig's feet, I was saying you can add, but we don't do pig's feet here. Sorry about that. But here we go. We're going to let that cook for until the meat falls off the bone and the bone falls apart. Oops, forgot to add the mysterious bay leaf. No one ever really knows what that does, but Grandma and Mom put it in soups, stews, sauces, and everything my whole life. So I'm following the tradition of the bay leaf. Boy, does this smell fantastic. I can't wait to boil a pound of some macaroni or spaghetti and have these on the side. We really enjoy this meal. Here I am. Now I'm showing you how to skim the foam acid off the top of the tomatoes. And as you're cooking them, you might want to do that. Sometimes tomatoes don't have it and sometimes they do. But I always skim it off so it's a beautiful, smooth red sauce like this. Keep it on low and medium until the bones fall apart, and it is delicious. Thank you for following me. I want to tell you I also put on the side here some salad. Just threw a little salad together with some blue cheese, and there's the pork neck bones fall off the bone. Life with me, Gina Marie. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Strive to be happy.